Council meeting to order tonight. We will take the roll call at this time, please.
Council members Litz,
Here.
Staggers, Anderson Jr.,
Here.
Benega,
Here.
Brown,
Here.
Costello,
Here.
Jameson,
Here.
Knutson.
Yes.
We have a quorum present for tonight's meeting. Tonight will be led in the invocation by Pastor Wade Mobley from Living Word Free Church in Sioux Falls here. And after the invocation, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. So at this time, I'd ask everyone to please rise.
Psalm 18:30 says, "As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord proves true. He is a shield for all those who take refuge in him." Father God, we thank you for tonight. We thank you for this body that comes together to conduct the business of the city of Sioux Falls. I ask tonight, Father, that you would grant these folks wisdom, Lord, that they would make wise decisions, that they would approve what you approve and disapprove what you disapprove. And where there's places in between, that they would exercise wisdom and judgment to make those decisions. We thank you for tonight, and we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a proclamation night for National Volunteer Week. So Sarah Crothers, are you coming up here with some other volunteers? Margaret? Okay, we have a proclamation that reads, whereas every community member can effect positive change with any volunteer action, no matter how big or small. Whereas volunteers can connect with local community service opportunities through hundreds of community service organizations like volunteer centers. And whereas millions of volunteers working in their communities utilize their time and talent daily to make a real difference in the lives of children, adults, and the elderly. Whereas during this week, all over the nation, service projects will be performed and volunteers recognized for their commitment to service. Whereas the giving of oneself in service to another empowers the giver and the recipient. Whereas experience teaches us that government by itself cannot solve all of our nation's social problems. Whereas our country's volunteer force, which is over 64 million people, is a great treasure. Whereas volunteers are vital to our future as a caring and productive nation. Now, therefore, I, Dave Munson, Mayor of the City of Sioux Falls, do hereby proclaim April 19th through April 25th, 2009, as National Volunteer Week in Sioux Falls, and I urge all citizens to volunteer and inspire by example in our community. By volunteering and recognizing those who serve, we can replace disconnections with understanding and compassion. Congratulations, Sarah. Appreciate it. We have another one for Arbor Day, so we'd ask Dwayne Stahl to come on up. The proclamation reads, whereas this year we celebrate the 137th anniversary of Arbor Day, whereas the National Arbor Day Foundation promotes the planting of trees, whereas Americans are outdoor-loving people and at every opportunity turn to the natural beauty for relaxation and enjoyment. Whereas trees shelter and beautify our homes, shade our streets, give charm to our parks, and add character to our landscapes. Whereas tree planting is an important activity assuring America's beauty. Whereas the City of Sioux Falls will commemorate Arbor Day by the planting of 333 trees on city parkland. Whereas the Sioux Falls Park and Recreation Board encourages all citizens to plant, maintain, and nurture trees. Now, therefore, I, Dave Munson, Mayor of the City of Sioux Falls, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2009 as Arbor Day in the city of Sioux Falls. Congratulations. Okay, we'll get started with the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved, Benninga.
Benninga moves. Is there a second?
Second, Brown.
Brown seconds. Further motions, comments on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to approve the consent agenda, vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmembers Litz?
Yes.
Anderson Jr.?
Yes.
Benninga?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
All members present voted 7 yes, 1 excused. The consent agenda has been approved. Is there a motion to approve the regular agenda?
I so move Knutson.
Knutson moves. Is there a second?
Second, Jamison.
Jamison seconds. Further comments, motions? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to approve the regular agenda? Yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmembers Litz?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Benninga?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
All members present have voted. The regular agenda has been approved, 7 yes, 1 excused. This is a time we set aside for public input. Anyone wishing to address the council for a period of 5 minutes, we just ask that they come forward and they give their name and their address. So anyone wishing to address the council at this time, please come forward. I see no one that is coming forward, so we will move into the regular agenda. Item number 1.
Item 1 is a deferred action. The following abatement was recommended for denial by the Director of Equalization in the State's Attorney's Office for Minnehaha County and the City Attorney for Sioux Falls. Carol Houston, 5001 West 37th Street, for 2008 property taxes in the amount of $1,461.98. Taxpayers requesting abatement for owner-occupied status rather than non-owner-occupied status. Also requesting that the 2008 assessed property value is lowered to $160,000 based on the appraised value of the home.
Last week, I approached you with this request, and at that time, the city attorney said that they were not sure if this was the forum to hear this request. So I guess I'm waiting for the response from the attorney's office if this is the correct forum.
Well, I think Gail is here.
Gail, do you want to address that?
Gail Eastland, City Attorney's Office. And I appreciate Ms. Houston allowing us to defer this last week until tonight. And I have now had an opportunity to review the facts of her tax abatement application and the relevant law. And unfortunately, the Houstons had some not very good circumstances to contend with for the 2008 tax year. But the two reasons that the Houstons put on their application for a tax abatement don't fit with the statutory law. They name one adjustment they want made is their valuation of their 2008 property value lowered from about $200,500 to $160,000. And they were now able to apply for owner occupancy status either for that year due to circumstances, and neither one of those facts or reasons fit under the tax abatement law, and that's clear. Those are equalization appeal issues that should go before the local and county boards of equalization. They're not a tax abatement rationale.
Pat?
Gail, did you have a chance to look into to find out if they were to go next year to the Board of Equalization, if that can be done retroactively?
It can't.
Cannot.
And Kyle Helseth is here from the Equalization Office, too, but I did speak with Kyle about that, and they can't go back. It's each year you have to apply for the lowering of your property value, if that's what you think is the correct situation.
Further questions? Okay, Dee.
And so I realize that the city council does not have the authority to supersede state law, so I believe that's what you're saying. And then I just assume that that she has been, sorry, I don't have my name in front of me, has been told in detail how she can use the process properly for next year, as far as going to the Board of Equalization in the future and so forth, I mean.
Well, I haven't spoken to Ms. Houston, but I'm sure we can do that, and I'm sure Mr. Helseth would be
Yes.
willing to do that, too.
Okay.
But the law is clear. The Attorney General has looked at this several times. The Supreme Court has discussed it, and it just doesn't fit under these facts to get a tax abatement.
I did go to the Director of Equalization in March for a 2009 assessment and also to file the owner-occupied status. And they were the ones who told me to file the abatement to be brought to you people for review. So
Yes.
I think I'm done.
Yes.
Thank you.
Further questions?
Can I make a statement? Kyle, can she appeal to the county when they start this Wednesday, or is it too late for that? Can she still get in?
Good evening, Kyle Helseth. I'm the Deputy Director of Equalization. The only appeal that could be perfected this Wednesday would be on the valuation for the ensuing year.
Okay.
Nothing is retroactive as far as the appeal process.
Thank you.
Any other questions of Carol, Gail, or Kyle? Not? Is there council discussion or action?
Mr. Mayor, I believe we have to make the motion in the affirmative, correct?
Yeah.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve.
I second that motion for the
Brown
approval of the
and
denial.
Knutson seconded the motion. It has to be in the affirmative, so on all these. So all in favor of the motion to approve the abatement will vote yes. Those opposed to deny will vote no. All, go ahead and vote.
Oh, question?
Go ahead.
Okay, you know what, I thought that it had to be made in the affirmative. I was confused. I thought that would be approval of the denial. I thought that's what, okay, so I'm just backwards. I was just reading my exact wording here.
Approve, deny.
Yeah, it has to be the approval or denial.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so the approval of the denial. Okay.
Okay, all
I'm
in
with
favor
you.
of that will approve, denial will vote yes. Those opposed no.
So when we're approving the denial, is that's
So a yes vote is saying no
no?
to.
Okay.
Don't want to confuse you
Clear.
all. Okay, okay. We got it down
What you're
pat.
approving is procedurally, there's nothing in front of you.
We got that down pat. Okay, all in favor of the approval to denial, vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmember Litz?
No.
Councilmember Anderson Jr.?
No.
Councilmember Benega?
Yes.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Costello?
Yes.
Councilmember Jameson?
Yes.
Councilmember Knutson?
Yes.
Okay, that motion, approval to denial has been approved, five yes, 2 no, and 1 excused. So let's move to item number 2.
Item number 2 is the transfer of a 2009 retail liquor license from MMLK Incorporated, the Brass Rail, 1213 North Cliff Avenue, to JTJ Holdings LLC Toppers, to be operated at 1213 North Cliff Avenue, including video lottery terminals. The council should know that we've received a request for this item to be withdrawn. Mayor, do you want me to read through all of these items?
why-
and then
why not?
vote?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
Item 3 is the transfer of a 2008-2009 retail malt beverage license from Mint Casino Incorporated, Mint Casino, 3601 East 10th Street, to JPTS Incorporated, Mint Casino, to be operated at 3601 East 10th Street, including video lottery terminals. Item 4 is a transfer of a 2008-2009 retail malt beverage license from Executive Subs and Salads Incorporated, Executive Casino, 2218 South Minnesota Avenue, to Pinball Incorporated, Executive Casino, to be operated at 2218 South Minnesota Avenue, including video lottery terminals. Item 5 is the transfer of a 2008-2009 retail malt beverage license from Jerry A. Hauk, Monks, 420 East 8th Street, to Hauk Tobin LLC, Monks House of Ale Repute, to be operated at 420 East 8th Street with the conditional use permit being approved on September 5th, 2007. Item 6 is the transfer of a 2009 retail wine license from Jerry A. Hauk, Monks, 420 East 8th Street, to Hauk Tobin LLC, Monk's House of Ale Repute to be operated at 420 East 8th Street with the conditional use permit being approved on September 5th, 2007. Item 7 is a special one-day liquor license request for SMG to be operated at the Orpheum Theater, 315 North Phillips Avenue, for wedding receptions on June 20th, August 1st, and August 29th, 2009. Item 8 is a special one-day liquor license for Gene and Aaron Slattery, J&T Services, to be operated at the Old Courthouse Museum, 200 West 6th Street, for a wedding reception on May 16th, 2009. Item 9 is a special one-day liquor license request for Hy-Vee Incorporated, all occasions by Hy-Vee, to be operated at the Delbridge Museum of Natural History, 805 South Kiwanis Avenue, on May 8th, 2009, for the North Central Heart Seminar, and on the following dates for wedding receptions in 2009, May 2nd, June 6th, 13th, 20th, 27th, July 18th, August 22nd, 29th, and September 26th. Item 10 is a special one-day malt beverage license and special one-day wine licenses for Sanford Health Foundation to be operated at the Sanford Children's Hospital, 1600 West 22nd Street, on June 6th for the 2009 Sanford Children's Gala fundraiser. And item 11 is a special one-day malt license for the Minnehaha Sertoma Club to be operated at the Sertoma Butterfly House, 4320 South Oxbow Avenue, on May 2nd, 2009, for a regional conference.
Thank you, Tamara. Lori Hogstead with the City Attorney's Office, representing items 2 through 11. And I can certainly answer questions on these items. As Tamara mentioned, item 2 has been requested to be withdrawn, and that will be resubmitted to you next month.
Questions? Not, is there a motion to approve all, and we will withdraw item number 2?
I so move Knutson.
Second, Costello.
Costello, second. Knutson made the motion. Costello seconded to approve items 1, and then 3 through 11. So all in favor of the motion to approve will vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmember Litz?
Yes.
Anderson Jr.?
Yes.
Benninga?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
All members present voted, 7 yes, 1 excused. Those following items, they have been approved. So let's move to item 12.
Item 12 is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the revised ordinances of the city for sign permit fees.
Mike Cooper, Planning and Building Services. This is a request by city staff to update our calculation of permit fees for signs, and we're doing this in conjunction with our 2010 budget request that we would like to get council consideration for the change in fees prior to the approval of our budget request. It's been a number of years since we've significantly changed the way that we calculate these fees, and so we are attempting to update these. And essentially, it covers the variety of sign permits from portable signs to billboards. The portable sign permit fees were updated fairly recently, and so they are proposed to remain at $20. From that point, we calculate the sign fee based on the size of the sign. Under the current ordinance, there's a base fee, and then it goes up according to the square footage. And what we're trying to do is come up with a simpler way of doing those calculations. And also that we're looking at raising the fees for the larger signs and the billboards or off-premise signs. And just to give you a comparison, and I should put together a chart that we can show this easier. Under the current ordinance, for a sign that's less than 100 square feet, the sign permit fee will range from $30 to $36. Under the proposed ordinance, it will be a flat rate of $35. Under the current ordinance, for signs between 100 and 200 square feet, that permit fee will range from $36 to $39. Under the new ordinance, it would go up to $50 flat rate. And then for signs over 200 square feet, which are primarily the billboards, right now, that would range from $39 to $41, and the new ordinance would change that to a rate of $75. As I said, it's been a number of years since we've increased the fees for the larger sign permits, and those are becoming more complicated in terms of the plan, check, and review process, and then going out in the field and doing the follow-up inspections. And we have talked to sign companies about these proposed changes. Just to give you an idea, based on last year's statistics, the number of temporary signs or portable signs where the $20 fee would be in effect, we did 350 of those last year. The smaller, or the signs up to the billboard size signs, we did 562 permits last year. And then the larger billboards, we did 11 of those last year. So we're not talking about a large quantity of the billboards, but we do believe that there's a need to update this fee schedule. And we've also done some research of other communities. It really varies quite dramatically from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. As an example, Yankton and Huron just charge a flat rate of $20 for every sign permit that they issue. Minnehaha County has a minimum charge of $100, and then you go out West River, Lawrence County goes up to $250 for billboards, and Meade County has the record. They charge $850 a permit for a billboard. So there's not a real consistent pattern out there, but we believe that this is a reasonable request. And again, it's been a number of years since we've made significant changes to the fees for the larger sign permits.
Mike, do you have any idea how long it has been since we've raised these?
I believe it's been since about 1980s, since we've raised most of these.
So quite a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike, I was wondering about the portable sign. Is that every time somebody would like rent the sign, they'd have to get the permit, and that's why
Right.
you had that number?
Yes.
And then the billboards there, you said you had 11 of them. Is there 11 new billboards that went up there? So they do that one time, is that correct?
Right.
Okay, if
It's just
11 new...
It's a
Go ahead.
one-time fee, yes.
Yeah, if 11 new ones went up, did any of them come down?
Probably, but I don't have that statistic, but we can check on that.
So I was wondering,
It's-
the billboards would fall under there'd be more regulations as far as visibility and where the
Right.
billboards and all that go, I
Yeah.
guess, is...
It's pretty seldom that they do come down, but occasionally when property redevelops, or if there's a lease that comes due where the property owner doesn't want it to stay there.
Okay, is
they'll
there
go
like,
away.
I got this vision of billboards all over the place. We have spacing requirements
Yes.
and all that. Okay,
Yep, we have standards for the spacing, and
will that be part of Shape Sioux Falls when we get there?
a lot of those we currently have in place, but some of those could be updated in the future.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Greg?
Mike, what's the total dollars that was raised last year, I suppose, in all these fees? What was the total?
$18,678.
Does that cover, that covers our cost for going out and inspecting and administrating the whole process?
Well, it doesn't necessarily cover the cost of doing the larger signs, because those, again, they take longer to do the plan check and to do the inspections. So those are the ones that we would like to update
And
primarily.
This new fee structure will balance that out?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. Yep.
Further questions?
Director Cooper, right now, can a person would just go online and sign up for their permit?
Yes.
And then the second question is, have we ever considered giving citizens an option of doing like 2 years or 3 years at a time, and with maybe a little bit of a reduction or whatever, so that we don't have as much paperwork to do every year?
Again, this is just a one-time fee.
Oh,
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
an annual fee.
Yes, sorry.
Yep.
Oh, just
Yes.
one time. It's really
Yes.
very inexpensive then.
Kenny?
Mike, have we looked at any type of different fee structure on these billboard signs, the new electronic ones? Do
Those
they
are the
take
one-
a little more time and everything?
Yeah, those are the ones that would increase from currently that $39 to $40 fee, and they would go up to $75.
Mr. Cooper, is this the one that we talked about, the
I'm sorry.
effective date?
Because we are doing this in conjunction with the 2010 budget, if the council does approve this, we would like to have an effective date of January 1st next year. And we would look at that as an amendment for second reading.
Further questions? Okay, move to 13.
Item 13 is a first reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at the southwest corner of East 41st Street and South Dakota Highway 11, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a request by the City of Sioux Falls Parks and Recreation in conjunction with Harmadon Park to create a new zoning district that would allow for the park to be divided between the softball side on the east half of the park and the baseball side on the west side of the park. And primarily the purpose of this is to allow for the on sale of beer for the adult softball league special events and tournaments. And what we've done is we've proposed to divide the park up into two areas. Sub-area A, which is the softball side, would be where the beer sales would be allowed. And on the baseball side, it would not be allowed. This is very similar to what we do at Sherman Park. And as we've developed the master plan over the years for Harmadon Park, it was always the intent that the adult softball fields would have the beer sales allowed for tournaments, special events, and so forth in the leagues.
Questions of Mike on item number 13? Let's go to 14.
Item 14 is a first reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 1400 North Cliff Avenue and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a parcel of land in the northeast corner of Cliff Avenue and Rice Street. The property owner is David Billion, and we're changing the zoning to allow a trucking firm location to be established in this area.
Questions of Mike on 14? Go to 15.
Item 15 is a...
Wait, go ahead.
Question. On that one, Mike, hasn't that been a trucking facility before?
Yes, it was industrial at one time, and we changed it to a commercial zoning district at the request of the previous property owner. And now the current zoning doesn't allow trucking, so we're going back to another zoning that would give more broad-based options for both trucking and retail sales.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, 15.
Item 15 is a first reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at the southeast corner of 85th Street and South Minnesota Avenue and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a small parcel in the southeast corner of 85th and South Minnesota Avenue. We've been working with Sioux Sports on a new location in this area, and this is an H lot that was acquired from the state of South Dakota that will be incorporated into their future development plans. So we're changing about a 0.2 acre parcel of land to the future commercial development.
Questions of Mike on item 15? Item 16.
Item 16 is a first reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 4501 West 61st Street North and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This property is located northwest corner of 60th Street and Career Avenue. It's about a 2-acre parcel, and it's a proposed relocation for the Lions Eye Bank. And at this location, they will be establishing the eye bank as well as the tissue recovery center. And this zoning will allow that use to be established.
Questions on 16? 17?
17 is a first reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 1224 East 57th Street and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is the location of Olson Oil Company as a convenience store in the northwest corner of 57th and Cliff Avenue. This is a process whereby we've changed a planned development zoning designation back to more of the conventional zoning. And so we're amending this from a planned development to a C4 commercial district to basically allow the use to continue in the future. And this was originally established back in 1982.
Questions of Mike on 17? Let's go to 18.
18 is a first reading and ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at 1200 East 57th Street and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a similar petition by Olson Oil Company for the office building directly west of their convenience store. And again, we're changing it from a planned development district to an office zoning district.
Questions of Mike on 18? 19?
19 is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a major amendment, petition number 2009-0305 to Chapter 15.45.070, Plan Development Districts at 4601 to 4605 South Tech Link Circle, amending the Valhalla Plan Development District sub-area regulations. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This is a petition for the New Beginnings Faith Church, which is established within this Valhalla office development. This is at West 53rd and Tech Link Circle, and we've allowed them to continue under a non-conforming designation. So what we're doing now is we're updating the zoning by adding church as a specific use within this office park development area. So essentially, we're just bringing them out of the non-conforming use status.
Questions of Mike on 19? Let's go to 20.
Item 20 is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a major amendment, petition number 2009-0214 to Chapter 15.45.70, Plan Development Districts at West Benson Road and North Marion Road, amending the Hazelton Plan Development District sub-area regulations. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This property is in the northwest corner of Marion Road and West Benson Road. And Steve Van Buskirk with Hazelton Partners is the petitioner. We've been working with them on a master plan for this large development area. This particular amendment deals with about a 41-acre parcel at the intersection of the two arterial streets. And we're looking at establishing a mixed-use concept. This would allow up to 50% of that property to be developed as commercial, and then the balance could be office or multifamily residential.
But
Mike, was the West Central School site on this square mile of land as well?
That's farther to the west outside the city limits.
Very good, thank you.
other question, Mike, on item number 20? Not, is there a motion to set the hearing date for items 12 through 20 for May 4th?
So moved. Litz
moves. Is there a second?
Second, Anderson.
Anderson seconds. Further comments? Not all in favor of setting the hearing date for items 12 through 20 for May 4th? Vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Council members Litz.
Yes.
Anderson Jr.
Yes.
Benega.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Costello.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Knutson.
Yes.
All members present voted. The hearing date for items 12 through 20 has been set for May 4th. 7 yes, 1 excused. Item 21.
Item 21 is a resolution authorizing the City of Sioux Falls to gift to the City of Brandon 10 Toshiba Satellite A70 computer laptops.
I guess this came out of learning how we were surplusing out our laptops in the city. Basically, it was going to cost us money to sell the laptops to a wholesaler to have them scrapped. With the help of Mike Hall and our staff, we found that the city of Brandon was looking to go a little more paperless than what they are. So similar to what we've done, and the city has done most recently with police cars to some other agencies, these laptops will be gifted to the city of Brandon. And hopefully it's a program that we can look at in the future and try to share with other areas and other communities.
Further questions? Others wish to address the council. Item number 21. Is there a motion?
I move for approval.
Knutson moves. Anderson seconds.
I'll second that.
Yeah, maybe I should second that.
No, that's all right. We got it on the record, so we'll stay with it right now. Motion been made and seconded to approve item 21. All in favor of that motion, yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmember Litz.
Yes.
Anderson Jr.
Yes.
Benega.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Costello.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Knutson.
Yes.
All members present voted 7 yes, 1 excused. Item 21 has been approved. Item 22.
Item 22 is a resolution authorizing the Public Works Director or his designee to register with the Chicago Climate Exchange certain carbon financial instruments to the aggregator Mickelson and Company, LLC.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Tonight, items 22 and 24 are further discussions about carbon credits. Last September, we executed the first contract for carbon credits as a result of destroying the methane at the landfill. This first item is more of a cleanup item. It is for the 2006 credits that have been verified and we still hold. They're very little value to them, but the only way that we can, the best way we can get them off our books and sold at some point when we're comfortable with the market is to have an aggregator like Mickelson and Company sell them on the Chicago Climate Exchange. And so tonight, this resolution allows for this small amount of carbon to be transferred, and then when market conditions are appropriate, we would execute the sale. Tonight with me is Mark Mickelson, Ryan Peety, both from Mickelson and Company, as well as Dave McElroy, the landfill division manager. And we're here to answer your questions.
Questions of Mark? Others that wish to address the council on item number 22? Not? Is there a motion to approve?
Move for approval, Benninga.
Benninga moves. Who's second?
Second, Litz.
Litz seconded. Further comments on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor of that motion, we'll vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Council members Litz,
Yes.
Anderson Jr.,
Yes.
Benninga,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Costello,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Knutson.
Yes.
All members present voted. Item number 22 has been approved. 7 yes, 1 excused. Item 23.
Item 23 is a resolution authorizing the City of Sioux Falls to gift to the City of Canastota street lighting from Phillips Avenue.
This item is similar to item 21. We received a request from the City of Canastota for the streetlight shafts and globes that were removed from the current Phillips Avenue project. These lights, we no longer install this type. The current ones that are being requested to be surplus are 12 feet tall, and due to corrosion and a number of issues with them during the removal process, they're just very difficult to salvage. However, the City of Canastota would like them, and so we would recommend that we declare these surplus and move those to the City of Canastota.
Questions of Mark? Others that wish to address the council on item number 23? Not, is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve, Litz.
Litz moves. Is there a second?
Second Anderson.
Brown seconds. Further comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to approve item 23, vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Council members Litz.
Yes.
Anderson Jr.
Yes.
Benninga.
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Costello.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Knutson.
Yes.
All members present have voted. Item 23 has been approved. 7 yes, 1 excused. Item 24.
Item 24 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between the City of Sioux Falls and Terra Pass Incorporated, a Delaware corporation, for a verified emissions reductions purchase and sale agreement for the years 2008 to 2010.
Tonight we have in front of you a 3-year contract with TerraPass to execute 2008, 2009, and 2010 carbon credits. And we've been, after cultivating several other offers, found that TerraPass's terms were most favorable for the City of Sioux Falls. And we can take you through the pricing as well as the timing and the respective amounts. Mark Mickelson tonight will take you through that process, and we're here to answer your questions. With that, Mark.
Thank you. Mark Mickelson with Mickelson and Company. You sold 2007 carbon credits to TerraPass last fall. Those were on a 1-year contract. We cashed the check. It was roughly $180,000. We, during the course of marketing your 2007 credits, and then again early this winter, early in 2009, we ended up receiving a total of 12 different offers, either formal, written, email, kind of firm verbal, that kind of stuff, and contacted an additional 5 companies that indicated they weren't interested, and another 10 or so that indicated that just didn't respond. And we ended up pursuing, to kind of final conclusion, 2 offers. One was from a utility, and one was from TerraPass, and the pricing of the TerraPass offer was better than the other offer. And so we ended up deciding as a group with Mark and consulting with some other folks there, that we would recommend proceeding with the TerraPass offer. They price these things by the ton or by the carbon credit, and their offer is $5.50 a ton for 2008. And that's going to be roughly $300,000, depending on how many credits end up ultimately getting verified. You negotiate a price, and then you have to go get verified. Your activity has to get verified. So you have to go find out and prove how much landfill gas flowed and what the methane content was, and the landfill's got all the appropriate equipment in place. So we don't anticipate any difficulties there. The 2009 price is $6.50, and 2008 and 2009 together are roughly $900,000 estimated, depending on verification activities. Once this is approved, if it's approved, they would commence verification activities, and you should expect to get paid within, 90 days, 120 days, something like that for the first 12 months, okay? And then in another year, you'll get the check for the second year, okay? Get paid once a year. In 2010 is a little bit of an outlier. You are the landfill's planning on adding some wells, which is going to increase the landfill gas, which is going to increase the amount of carbon credits that you're going to get. And TerraPass has said that given current market conditions, they're willing to pay us $8 a ton, provided there hasn't been a Western Climate Initiative, which is CCAR, okay, the California Climate Action Group, or a federal standard that would write the Sioux Falls landfill out of any proposed carbon rules. You folks are probably following the press and what's going on with carbon regulations, so no one knows what's going to count and what's not going to count. It's widely anticipated that landfills will qualify generally. There's a potential that you would be disqualified because you started your flaring activity out there in 2006, and they could theoretically say, we'll allow voluntary methane destruction on landfills that happen, after January 1st, 2008, for example. But no one knows, and I really don't expect that, but that's a pretty significant contingency. If that happens, okay, and you're written out of the rules, there's a second test, and the second test says, provided if there's a market price for these kinds of project credits, and if that price is below $10, so if you fail both of those two tests, the price would drop to $1.75, just kind of a floor. And depending on what happens, the 2010 numbers are worth roughly $300,000 on the low side to $1.3 million, depending on how those rules are written. And I'll just kind of stop there and field any questions that you might have.
Questions of Mark?
Mr. Mickelson, so like in the whole country, like about how many companies are buying carbon credits, and is there some kind of central market, like I think like a commodities market or something or a website or something that people can go and all these companies are saying we're looking for landfills to do work with, or how does this work from a practical standpoint?
It's a good question, and the most transparent market is something called the Chicago Climate Exchange, CCX. There's a website, and there's a quoted price. And those carbon credits trade every day there, D, and they're traded at, today's price is $1.65, okay? So it's the transparent market is very low, and that has to do with they have a very wide type of projects that they let qualify, so they have so their carbon credits are today valued lower. And so the rest of the credits are traded in what you just call an over-the-counter market. And it's been, a few months since I've looked close, but a third of the market trades over CCX and 2/3 trades over the counter. And so it's really like it's a private party negotiated, non-exchange type market today if you're not going through CCX. Yeah.
Further questions? Pat?
So there's no open records for the over-the-counter stuff? Is that?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And then regarding 2010, you gave the range from 300,000 to $1.3 million, pretty wide range, based, I assume, on the production or what we actually get out of how many credits we can get certified for, obviously. What are we capping ourselves on the upside on that? In other words, you know, we're limited to $8, and maybe that's a great price, I don't know. If we qualify, or if that event that you had indicated doesn't happen, we don't get written out of the rules. But then, why lock in the price as far out?
You know, we considered 5-year offers for just that reason. You know, anytime you sell something, you're capping upside because you're done. You sold it. And, you know, our recommendation is, and it doesn't mean it's right, but I mean, our sense of the market is that you're also putting a floor in place. And that if the market goes up, you've got every year after 2010 to enjoy that benefit. And the $8 price is a pretty good price right now. This market has slid big time with the economic, you know, meltdown that's going on, and you know, all this. It's a very speculative market anyway, and so they've agreed to kind of stand behind this offer, and the pricing's better than if you were to try. In our opinion, it's better if you were to try to go reprice the deal right now on a 3-year basis. It'd probably be lower. So, you know, the answer is yeah, you're capping your upside if you sell it. You're also putting a nice floor in place, and that range is really has to do with what happens with any written federal rules. The 300,000 to the $1.3 million. It's not so much production. Production will be a very, you know, the whole thing's dependent on production. But as I explained in the introduction, if there's a published set of rules that would write our project out, then you're at the 300,000. Okay.
Further question, Joe. Mark, it's almost sounding like it's a futures kind of transaction. And what's TerraPass's risk or responsibility? I mean, it sounds like we've got quite a bit of the risk, and they have very little risk.
With respect to 2010?
Correct.
They've got the risk that the market's gone, but your project's not written out.
Okay.
That's what they're standing behind.
So they're making the assumption that the federal government's not going to change the laws and the groundwork, so to speak.
Well, they're making the assumption that a market's going to exist, okay, and they'll have a use for the credit or the ability to resell it, okay, but yeah.
Mark, I assume you've done a lot of due diligence on TerraPass. What kind of company are they, and how stable are they? How do we know that they're going to be around in 2011 to pay that bill?
Well, he's jotting a note down. It's just we had a lot of discussion on that point, and we drove the other offer to the end because it represented someone we felt had very little counterparty risk. Their price was $4, and what we did to de-risk the deal was you get paid in 6-month increments in 2010. Okay, so we don't have to wait till the end of the year to get paid.
So if we don't get paid the first time, we don't sell them the second half.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, yeah, of course, but rather just to make sure that you should get paid periodically until getting paid all at the end of 2010, we're going to get a June 30th payment in 2010.
Other questions? Others that wish to address the council on item number 24? Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve, Costello.
Let's move. Second by Costello.
That'll be good.
Further comments on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to approve item 24, I'll vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmembers Litz?
Yes.
Anderson Jr.?
Yes.
Benega?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Costello?
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
Knutson?
Yes.
All members present have voted. Item 24 has been approved, 7 yes, 1 excused. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Benega moves. Is there a second?
Second, Jameson.
Jameson seconds. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, vote yes. Those opposed, no.
Councilmembers Litz.
Yes.
Anderson Jr.
Yes.
Benega.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Costello. Jamison.
Yes.
Knutson.
Yes.
We stand adjourned.